Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. I am Bishop Durrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral for the Queer God Squad. Joining me today and most days are Bishop Robert Griffin, he's my husband, you know, and the Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Now to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community.
There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2026, we are celebrating the 41st anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 14,000 stories and 12 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. Please like and share today's story. And if you'd like to support the work of Sunshine Cathedral, visit sunshinecathedral.org.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. SCOTUS greenlights cruel abandonment of the vulnerable. On June 27th, the Global Justice Institute, for which Dr. Durrell Watkins and Dr. Robert Griffin are bishops, released this statement about the recent SCOTUS decision to allow the termination of temporary protected status for Haitians and Syrians.
Supreme Court ruling on temporary protected status presents the possibility of a humanitarian crisis. The recent Supreme Court decision to allow the termination of temporary protected status, TPS, for hundreds of thousands of Haitian and Syrian nationals mark a profound humanitarian crisis. By authorizing the removal of legal protections for individuals living and working in the United States, this ruling effectively destabilizes the lives of family who have become integral members of our communities. TPS was a moral imperative to provide safety to those who cannot return to their home countries due to armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary instability. The U.S. State Department continues to issue do not travel warnings for both Haiti and Syria, citing rampant violence, kidnapping, and limited infrastructure. To forcibly return individuals to these environments is not merely a policy shift. It is a direct threat to their lives. Beyond the immediate danger to those facing deportation, this decision severs the bonds of families, often forcing parents to choose between staying in the U.S. and abandoning their American-born children or returning to regions where their safety is not guaranteed. Furthermore, this ruling ignores the societal contributions of these populations. For years, these individuals have paid taxes and have filled essential roles in our economy and healthcare systems. This ruling abandons a long-standing American tradition of providing refuge to the vulnerable. It discards humanitarian values such as empathy, compassion, and generosity, and it erodes any moral authority the U.S. holds in the community of nations. We must realize that administrative decisions impact human lives. We urge Congress to intervene immediately, moving beyond temporary status to create pathways for permanent residence and citizenship. As people of conscience and character, particularly those of us who have experienced marginalization and oppression, we must stand in solidarity with the vulnerable. A cruel nation cannot be a great nation, and a heartless people will never be a righteous people.
And now the Queer God Squad has some thoughts on the matter. To me, this is just absolutely heartbreaking that people who have been living here in the United States, living their lives, doing their work, are going to be forced to return to Haiti or Syria. And I think that the decision by the Supreme Court yesterday about the birthright citizenship kind of complicates the matter even more so, because if people have been living here and their children were born here in the United States, then what do you do about returning to your home country versus staying here where your family and your children are? I mean, that's an extra layer.
Right. And if I have to leave my kids behind,
do
I take them with me to what I know is an unsafe place? Or do I leave them to be raised by friends or the foster care system or whatever? It's an impossible choice. It's not something anyone should have to choose. And we know why these people are here. We know because they were unsafe. Their lives were in danger. And so to send them back knowing that makes us culpable in whatever might happen to them. And that makes us, we may as well be one of the torturers. We may as well be one of the criminals. We may as well be the murderers themselves. We may as well be the people causing all the pain and heartache, because knowing that that's what's waiting for them, we send them back anyway. And I just don't have any argument with people. I don't have any argument for people. I don't have any time for people who are like, yes, but this policy and this politics and, charity begins at home and America for Americans and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
There's one planet. And when you see suffering and you can prevent it, you can alleviate it, that really is your job. But even if you can't do that, or you're too scared to do it, or you don't think you can do it, for Christ's sake, don't add to it. Don't make it worse. And that's just a very simple human rule to live by. And folks who already have jobs here, we're benefiting from their work, their labor, their expertise, their taxes. There's no reason other than cruelty to cut our own nose off to spite our face. Like we're going to lose part of the workforce. We're going to lose part of the tax base, all because of some ethnocentric, racist, xenophobic attitudes toward people. It's ridiculous. It's terrible leadership on the part of the United States. And not to mention immoral.
I have, like many, I have a hate-love relationship with the Supreme Court. Sometimes, yay, and sometimes, what the were you thinking on something that's so obvious?
More hate than love still. More hate than love.
But I would take a 63 knockout, giving Trump a black eye any day of the week on a ruling like this.
Yeah.
So, but and I'm glad
metaphorical. For whoever's watching, metaphorical black eye. Anyway, go ahead.
Anywho, I'm glad to see that they did not allow this level of ethnic cleansing or national cleansing that Trump really wants for people in America.
It is ethnic cleansing, isn't it?
Yeah, because they were really wanting to use the Constitution to do ethnic cleansing, and they, in their right frame of mind and thinking, said, no, this is not what it's used for. And this would not have been, had they allowed this to stand, or not, let Trump have this wouldn't have been the first stop. There would have been others who have been caught up in this as well on this birthright citizenship. I think they would have pushed it to the extent that they could possibly push it in this area. I mean, the heartbreaking story is, what was a couple of weekends ago when this was even being rumbled that this was going to happen. The story out of one of the airports is like, okay, a child's grandmother is taking them to the airport,
right,
to be returned to the country while the mother is working because she's afraid to go to the airport. Yeah. And is needing him the money to get this family through this situation. And so it just really creates this mind-boggling thing of, these people came here, they took my job, they took this, they took that. Oh, they are burdened on the taxpayer system. They were probably paying more taxes than you were and legally doing it and claiming what they could claim to be here and doing everything they were supposed to be, that they were told that they needed to do to be here. Mm-hmm. And this is just like, it just grapes me that, that this level of hatred, all the names you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But not only that, but the people who are upset, the anger, the racism behind them not getting what they wanted. It just baffles my mind. It really does. It's like, I don't understand how, you church-going people can really sometimes, and which church-going people I'm talking about, can say this is neighborly. This is love. This is showing something of love your neighbor as yourself. It does not. It bends all kinds of crazy rules in this era, but I'm glad that for hundreds that this now opens a different kind of window. I hope, a possibility and what it means. But this system is just messed up.
And you don't have to go all the way to 60s anti-Vietnam hippie child flower power peace and love. You don't even have to patchouli smelling all over the place. You don't even have to go that far to just not be an asshole.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be like super emotional and sympathetic and sweet. You can just be like, wow, it doesn't cost me really much of anything to just not be an asshole. Mm-hmm. And maybe if we're not an asshole, people's lives will be better. It really, the level of cruelty in our leadership right now is mind-boggling. But a lot of it comes, who the Speaker of the House is, a lot of it comes from the South.
Yeah.
Now, hatred doesn't have geographical boundaries, but it does seem to be concentrated in the old Confederacy that was never held accountable for their treason, never held accountable for their crimes against humanity. When Reconstruction was put in place, was almost immediately sabotaged and allowed to be sabotaged. They were allowed to celebrate their heroes, the heroes that led the treasonous rebellion, the heroes that committed the atrocities. So yeah, so the South will rise again, and it has,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
and has infiltrated the entire United States government, and the churches. The Southern Baptist Church was formed in the defense of slavery, and is still the least liberative voice in religion, or certainly one of them in our country. And so I'm very, when we're talking about all these things, I just think I keep bringing it back to that. We need to remember this is not new.
Mm.
We signed off on this when we didn't enforce Reconstruction, give it the legs it needed to stand and endure the resistance. When we didn't have accountability for the Confederacy when they were reunited, reintegrated into the United States. And now all of those horrible attitudes, all of those horrible sentiments, and it was part of the Democratic Party until the Civil Rights Movement, and then there was the Southern Strategy and the GOP, and those same horrible people just switched parties.
Yep.
So when it's Democrat now and Dixiecrat and now Republican, it's the Confederates. And so those same attitudes, then these racist and xenophobic and white supremacist attitudes, that's what all this is. Whether you're removing these protections for Haitians and Syrians, whether you're arguing whether or not people born here can really be citizens, all of that is the legacy of the Confederacy that didn't really lose. They just got reintegrated into the country, and then over hundreds more years won the ideology battle. Or so I think. And that's today with the Queer God Squad. Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad. Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.